So this is, I guess I'll go first again since we're probably going to overlap
Yep.
here. Probably won't go too much into these as much as the bands, but yeah. So I'm just gonna list off like you know under 10. So Panopticon by ISIS, I believe we touched on.
Yep.
I believe it's their most cohesive album, just in terms of sound and what it offers.
But yeah, I
It's
think
just
it's their best album.
right, yes. So we've got Crack the Sky by Mastodon, which is a band we
Also on
hadn't.
my list.
So we didn't mention this band before, but they're like a sludge metal band. And when you what you think of what,
I would never use that word, but
what you think about the mental image of sludge, that's what it is. It's just gunk, you know. So the reason why I really like this album is that I kind of like stumbled across it by accident. So a friend of mine in high school, shout out to you, I think you'll know who you are, accidentally gave me this album as like I was supposed to be getting something else from him, but he gave me this one.
there's a
And
lot
then,
of flash drives in high school that exchange
yeah,
hands
a lot of fucking discs
shaped
and flash.
that shaped our entire opinions of like art. Those flash drives are so
Yeah,
important.
it was these fucking flash drives. But yeah, like I accidentally got it, and then I like listened to it, and I was just like, whoa, because this is kind of like this is a concept album, which is, like, a lot of my favorite albums are concept albums.
Why don't
So
you,
I
let's
guess,
go into like what a concept album is and, and
well,
solidify
I
our
mean, like I guess
pretentiousness.
the
No,
first
let's
people.
not. We don't have to do that.
Looking at my list now, a lot of them are concept albums, and I'm kind of shook.
I think all of them
I'm
are.
looking in the mirror right now, and I don't
The
like what
the
I
only
see.
one that's not a concept album is one that you're gonna get heated about.
All right, well, I can get mad when I get there, but
But
yeah,
your
crap.
heat will be ill-founded. It will be, it'll be indefensible. It'll be hilarious.
All right, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So, Crack the Sky, just concept album about like traveling through wormholes and shit. It's wild. Instrumentals are great. Like it starts off with like the single, which is like like the more poppy song,
Yeah,
but then it just kind of like
it's a perfect album.
the
There's not a
way
bad
the
song
way
on
it builds, the way it tells its story, because that's the whole point of a concept album. Is just great. I love this album. This is one of those albums that I like. If I'm like ever about to like go work out, go for a bike ride, I'm just like I don't know what the hell I'm gonna listen to. I'll just throw on Crack the Sky, and like
Fires
it's
you
just
up.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
Crack
next
Sky,
album,
I think, was the second bit of music, the second album I added to my iTunes.
yeah,
After Saints Row
probably
Memory.
that same flash drive that
I
I
think it was on
obtained.
the same flash drive. Yeah.
Yeah, it was contraband. Uh, so my next album, which I don't think you've heard much, it's called Wake/Lift by this band I really like called Rosetta.
Yeah.
They're
I think I've heard it
they're
a couple times. But
they're along the same lines of ISIS, that post metal feel, this kind of repetitive building. There a lot of the albums are like space themed and exploring like the concepts of we really are in this infinite universe kind of thing, and I really like that.
yeah, this is on my list of things I need to listen to more.
Yeah, so Rosetta, Wakelift, fantastic. Colors by Between the Buried and Me.
Also on my list.
I've this is there's no words to describe this album because it just goes everywhere.
This is like the album to listen to for BT Band. Like,
Yeah,
this is
if you want to know what you're getting yourself into, it's Colors. It's the crown jewel. We mentioned earlier that we saw them live last week. It was the 10th anniversary of this album. They played it in its entirety. I was sitting there screaming my heart out, jumping, pushing people around. So much fun. At one point, I hugged a guy during Viridian. Like, me and this guy were just hugging, and we're like, this is so much fucking fun. So, yeah, that's about all I have to say to that. It's just fantastic. Moving here quickly, 10,000 Days by Tool. This was a tough choice because Tool's discography is fire. I picked this one because it just has a couple songs that just kind of resonate with me for whatever reason they may be.
Yeah, 10,000 Days is their last album. The album before that's Lateralis. Came out in '01.
Yes.
So I picked Lateralis. 10,000 Days is not on my list, but the Tool album Lateralis.
Yeah, like this is like whatever we're about to argue. Like if we argue about this or present why we Like we could be both swayed.
There's
Like
no argument.
I could convince you that
You're just
10,000
wrong.
days. Well, I'm wrong. Wow. Okay. Wow. All right.
Ladder
disagree.
Alice is a better album, but
I-
this is fine. This is your albums.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't. If
Ladder
you,
Alice-
if you wanted
I
to
think-
dispute which one was better,
I think objectively, Ladder
You'd be
Alice is
wrong.
better. I really like Wings for Marie, and like the lyrics for that,
fine. Yeah,
and Rosetta Stoned. Just
great song name.
the concept of that, the shit the bed again, typical
Aliens.
like
There's a lot of alien
yeah.
concept imagery in Tool music.
Yeah, Tool's like out there. You know, they've done their fair share of drugs.
They probably watched X-Files.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's that. Another one, Quadrophenia by The Who. That's it's I think it's the original rock opera, if I'm not mistaken. So rock opera. I'm sure you kids have heard about it. Tommy is their famous one. Quadrophenia is a little bit less known, but I mean it's the beginnings of the concept album being brought into rock.
Yeah, who's legendary?
You know, this album is just great. Like the whole concept of it. Just to go into it a little lightly, it's about like a teen, like a late teens, early 20s guy in like, you know, the social climate of the UK in like, you know, the 60s, and just kind of like, you know, their gangs, you know, the mods and rockers, and just kind of, and like this kid's also, you know, he has multiple personality disorders, and he has 4 different personalities, and each one is representative of a member of the band, and like they like. So whatever song is about whatever personality, that person wrote that song, and it kind of like lets them speak about their own troubles through those songs. So like, you know, just to give an example, like he's got one personality where he's just like a raging drug user or alcoholic, and like
Classic.
that was Keith Moon, who literally died of an overdose after like a show.
Their insane
like-
drummer.
Yeah. Also, yeah, Keith Moon inspired the shit out of Mastodon's drummer. Just that like spastic style, which is just
He
fantastic.
probably
And-
inspired a lot of these drummers.
yeah, but just Keith Moon is flames. John Entwistle, their bassist, fantastic. Quadrophenia, listen to it. This one for all my non-metal listeners out there, Quadrophenia is like, you know, it's just regular like rock from
Yeah,
you know
just,
the,
if you haven't heard the
60s.
Who, then you've made
Yeah.
a mistake, and you need to go listen to the Who.
Yeah. So that's that. And I've got two albums here left. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Mr. West.
Yeah.
I had a hard time picking, but I came to my senses and realized that this was objectively the best album. Because I was tempted to put Yeezus up there. Because I'm of the opinion that Yeezus is like the metal of rap. Or like, and like, you know, a lot of
is
this
like black metal.
yeah, like it's like it'll probably be recognized as how good it is like in like 15 years. But Yeezus is great. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy as a whole, it's just more cohesive. It's got power. It's got Runaway. You know, this was literally the height of Kanye. Like, you know, like 2009, 2010. Just the height of Kanye, you know, before people realized that he was an asshole. Which I'm not saying he's an asshole. Just the general opinion is that he's an asshole.
Right.
I don't think he is. I think he's a genius. So, and then finally, actually, this wasn't a tough choice. But it's a Good Kid, Mad City by Mr.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar.
See, that's not on my list, but it probably should be.
Yeah.
That'd be up there.
So, yeah, I mean, another concept album. Fantastic. You know, it's got the skits. You know, it's just funny at times.
That
like
could be like the best hip hop album ever, or in the conversation for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's why it's on the list.
Yep.
Just up like it kind of tapers off in the end in terms of like, you know, interestingness, but it's just him wrapping up the story, and I guess, you know, closing it up with what it means to him. But, you know, musically, you know, Kendrick's beats are great. You know, he's got Dr. Dre helping him. You know, like the beats, the lyrics, all the different styles, the features. You know, it's just Yeah, this is another one of those albums where I just can't even,
Yeah,
I can't form a cohesive sentence
it
sometimes
speaks for
because
itself.
it's so good.
Definitely
So
listen to it if you
those
haven't.
are my albums.
Okay, yeah, and just to add, my Graduation is my favorite Kanye album. I'm not as big of a Dark Twisted Fantasy, but I'm not as big of a Kanye guy in general. I just was
Okay,
thinking about
Graduation will be well represented.
okay in the song section.
Yeah.
So on my list, the ones that crossed over were Panopticon. I'll say Lateralis, just a Tool album.
Yeah.
Crack the Sky in Colors. My favorite album of all time is Images and Words by Dream Theater. And this is the one that I was saying.
Okay.
There's gonna be some heat from you.
Yeah, I just don't think it's that. Yeah, I don't know.
So this
I
is Dream
just
Theater's second album. It came out in
yeah.
'92, 1 year before I was born. So I don't remember. It was the second Dream Theater album I think I listened to after Scenes from Memory, which is also on my list.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
this actually got DT like on the map. Like they actually had commercial success because of this.
yeah, it was specifically the first song in the album, "Pull Me Under," which is the worst song in the album. But yeah, it's a perfect album. Every song is good on it.
Yeah.
There's at least one song that's going to make my top songs from this album, but I could pick like all of them. And it's
Yeah.
kind of like Panopticon, where I think it's like a perfect album and every song is good, so it's hard to pick like a specific song from it. And in the same way with Panopticon, switching back over to ISIS, the Panopticon album, Panopticon, and then Oceanic, Wavering Grid, and In the Absence of Truth, those four albums are all perfect from ISIS in my opinion. So like they could almost be interchangeable. I just think Panopticon's the best one. But all of those theoretically,
I had a very hard time picking.
Yeah, they'd be on both of our lists. Just to, but yeah, Images and Words. Other than Scenes from Memory, that's the album you should be listening to if you wanted to get into Dream Theater. So yeah, Scenes from Memory is also on here. Speaks for itself. And then yeah, Scenes from Memory is a concept album, and Images and Words is not. But yeah, then Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd is on my top albums list.
That would be an honorable mention for me. I think.
I'm not even going to say anything about this because I think everybody's heard this album. It's just amazing. Like it speaks for itself.
Yeah.
And then Blackwater Park is on my album list as well because this is the first full album I listened to from Opeth. Got me into Opeth. Features some of the best of Opeth's songs and what they have to offer from beginning to end. Just another album that's just perfect. There's no bad song on it. And the last song is on my song list as well. And then other than Colors, I had Colors / Parallax 2 as like kind of an equivalent. Parallax 2, the Future Sequence is the full name. That's like their other space concept album. It's 2 albums after Colors. Another perfect BT Bam album, in my opinion. And then similar to your Quadrophenia, old school 70s rock reference, I have Thick as a Brick on here by Jethro Tull.
Yes. Fire album.
Just like incredible. Like this album, like I don't know how to describe it. It's like more lighthearted rock. So Jethro Tull, if you never listened to them, it's like a
it's really like
rock band that has the lead singer plays the flute. So like it's just eclectic, a lot going on, and
it's really like social commentary, really
good lyrics. Yeah,
like really tongue in cheek lyrics.
Yeah, it's like a comedy.
Yeah, this album's up there.
From the UK, Ian Anderson is the lead singer and flutist. But yeah, Thick as a Brick's just like a concept album, but it's really only like one song over 2 parts.
It's one like 44-minute song.
Yeah, just incredible. That has to be in my top bands. But yeah, that's what I have. Jethro Tull would be in my top bands. The Thick as a Brick is in my top albums for sure. That's all I have for albums. Those are my 10.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we could do. So we did bands. We did albums. Now I guess we could do songs.
Do some songs.
So the way I did my songs, I did songs that like. So this was hard because I did songs that like mean something to me for some odd reason or whatever it may be. Not necessarily. I tried to kind of. I tried not to get a lot of overlap between albums and my albums and my songs. But obviously, rules are meant to be broken, and this is my fucking list. So,
And a lot of them, at least on my end, the songs are from my favorite albums because it just goes hand in hand.
yeah. So I guess I'll start this one off, and I'll give a little blurb as to why it's on here. So, Good Morning from Graduation. I distinctly remember listening to this in like high school and being like, I'm gonna blast the shit out of this the day I wake up to graduate from fucking college. And that's exactly what I did. It's like this whole song, like I don't know how Yeezy did it, but like everything he says in it is like perfect. Like I don't know, he just completely understood. Like I think the thing about Graduation in general is that like it perfectly captures like what it's like to be like 20 something. It's like
It's
I
the
don't
anthem
know.
of
Is that like
millennials.
just that general confusion, like why are we here? And like just like that first verse, like wake up, Mr. West, Mr. Fresh, Mr. by himself. He's so impressed. I mean, damn, did you even see the test? You got D's, motherfucking D's, Rosie Perez, and your ass barely passed any in every class, looking at every ass, cheated on every test. I guess this is my dissertation, homie. This shit is basic. Welcome to graduation. Like I was just like, what the like? I don't know. I just love it. And then like later on, he goes on to like kind of talk about like the valedictorian verse, like because I guess he's kind of looking at this like he wasn't like the best student, and then he's looking at the valedictorian. This is the valedictorian scared of the future as I hop in the DeLorean, like I'm
That's
like the valedictorian might be scared to face the world, like and they're a career student, and like some people graduate and are still stupid, like.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of like a commentary on
Right. Yeah.
people that finish first, the people that are like considered the successful or the most prone to success. It's like the delinquents and like the people who are just trying to figure it out and fucking up and just trying to enjoy things.
And at the end of the day, both of them are just trying to figure it out. Like it doesn't matter how you did in school or whatever. Anyway, I love this song. I blasted it when I got up, when I graduated from college. It's just I love Kanye. The next one I have, it's from one of your albums that you listed. It's The Great Gig in the Sky. I think that this is the climax of Dark Side of the Moon. I mean they build up to it perfectly throughout the whole thing, and then it just kind of comes down from that. Like it kicks into Money, like it kind of switches
Dark Side of the
gears
Moon,
after.
their lyrics and the concept of the album is like maybe the most like meaningful, just the most like easy to understand, best possible like infusing philosophy into lyrics that there is. I love Great Gig in the Sky.
Yeah, I love like the little like clips that they play of people talking during it, like when they like this old guy who's just like I think because I mean I've read about this a lot, like about this album, and I've listened to it infinitely many times. It's just when the old guy is just like it's like why would I be scared of like why would I be frightened of dying? It's just like you got to go sometime. It's just like that. Like when I first heard that, when I was like then that just kind of like me, because I'm just like, well, yeah, he's not wrong. That's like that was like my first like just kind of like dealing with just I guess
mortality.
And all that stuff. So it was.
I think it's in really time like whenever he's like, no one told you when to run, you missed the starting gun.
Oh yeah,
like that lyric in by itself is like the most meaningful, and like it hits me hard every single time.
Yeah, and you run to catch up with the sun, but it's sinking.
Yep, and the sun is the same in a relative way.
But you're older, one day closer to death.
Yeah.
So yeah, Great Gig, but I think Great Gig in the Sky is the emotional climax of the album. Just it's very similar to Wait by ISIS, just in terms of just like the instrumental and then the female singer, and just it's just an emotional climax. I love it. Love that song. Love the album. Next, let's go. I guess there's not much to say on this one. It's not in Rivers, but in Drops. It's a song by ISIS off an album.
Also, shouts to ISIS song names.
Yeah, they
Such a
have some
good
of the
name.
best. So like where the song name, so the song name is not in rivers but in drops, but the actual lyric of the song is war is waged, blood is spilled, not in rivers but in drops. And I feel like
Hmm.
that kind of like that just highlights like conflict in general.
It's like looking at a macro's perspective
Right,
versus like
yeah,
an individual person.
like I've always thought about it like in terms of just like when they give like stats for like a war, like these people died, like these many people died, that I'm just like each one of those people was like a person, like
Like glimpse in the future.
they had family, they had stuff they wanted to do. And I guess that's I guess to me that's what that means, the not in rivers but in drops, like the like it all adds up to the river, but each little drop also counts. So anyway, little blurb on that one. Next on my song list is Orion by Metallica.
Mm,
So this song, I just think,
instrumental.
yeah, I'm an instrumental guy. I love instrumentals because I don't like people telling me what to do, how to feel. No, I mean it's another one of those that just like inspires emotions, especially with what it means in the grand scheme of like Metallica fandom. Like this was so Metallica's first bassist, his name was Cliff Burton. He was very like instrumental to like the band's early sound. He wrote a lot of the songs. He
He was probably. I mean, like obviously all the band members had input, but like his presence and then his like tragic passing that
yeah,
he wasn't in the band anymore. Like it kind of marked a shift in how they sounded. Like he was the reason that they sounded the way they did.
right,
Part
yeah,
of the reason why we like all the early albums is because of his presence.
and like basically this was like his magnum opus. Like it's really bass heavy song, and it's just really, I don't know, it is emotional. Like it has a somber tone to it. Like when you listen to it, like it's great. I don't know, it's just one of those songs. Like I remember like I'd heard it before and I was just kind of like, yeah, it's whatever. And then I distinctly remember being like 16 and I was just really down. And then I was just like, I'll just listen to Metallica. And then this song came on and it was just kind of like, man, this is like I gave it my own meaning, which is kind of like what kicked off my whole liking instrumentals thing, was like this song, and just what it means to me, and just Metallica fandom in general. This was Cliff's song, you know.
Yep.
So
Yeah, you definitely got me into Orion.
yeah, I love it. Love that song. Uh, Also, like they've only so since he died, I think it's only been played live once, and it was Rob. Like Rob played it, and I think they did it on like some special date, like for Cliff. So
Right.
yeah.
Because that's
Anyway,
his.
yeah, this was his song. The next one that I have here, actually, I'll go this route. The Glass Prison by Dream Theater. This was the first Dream Theater song I ever heard. I remember I was like whoever introduced me to Dream Theater came up to me and was just like, "Hey, you like Metallica, right?" And I was just like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, listen to this." Then they played it for me and it kicked my fucking ass. And it kicked off like a good 4 or 5 years of crazy fandom. And it's just like if I would never heard that song, like I don't know where I would be in my musical world today. So that song just means a lot to me in that perspective, and it's freaking crazy. It's
Yeah,
it's
Glass
just
Prison kind of kicked off your Dream Theater love, like Scenes from Memory did to me.
yeah. So that song gets that special mention for me. The Real Me slash Quadrophenia, the overture. So these are the opening songs to Quadrophenia, the album,
Yeah,
and I think they perfectly capture, I guess, the what the album's about. So the Real Me is just kind of like this really like driving song. It kind of like explains like the main character's conflict of just he's trying to figure out who he is. And like he's going around, like he talks to his doctor, he talks to his mom, he talks to like a preacher, and then like he's asking like, can you see the real me? Like who can see it? Because I don't
because
know
of
who
his
it
split
is.
personality. Yeah,
Right? Yeah. Like he goes to his mom. She's like, I'm crazy, ma, help me. And then she's just like, I know how you feel, son, because like it runs in the family. So it's just like I don't know. It's really meaningful. It kind of just kicks off like the album with like a bang, and then it goes into like the album's overture. So if you don't know where overture is, like an overture kind of is kind of like it's like a sampling of all the different themes that they're gonna hit during the album.
Yeah, it's like something from
Yeah, I mean
classical
it's a
music.
classical thing. So yeah, this is it's not. I'm not saying the Who invented overtures, but anyway, I'm just so they hit their overture and like yeah, it's just like a beautiful
The
like
kids
six.
need to understand what the fucking overture is if they don't
The
already.
children they're clamoring to know what an overture. So there's an overture and then there's an underture, and the undertures are at the end. It's like a recap. So there you go. That's your lesson in music structure for today. So yeah, the overture is like 6 minute instrumental. It hits like all the high point because each personality has its own like theme and melody. So they kind of like they expose you to those, and then they get used in the real songs. So anyway, I just think it's just a great 8 minutes to kick off the album. And my last one that I have here, this was tough for me. It's a song from Good Kid, Mad City, and it was tough to pick it, but I picked Money Trees from Good Kid, Mad City
Hmm.
because I think so. The other contender
That's
was
an avant-garde choice,
the other contender was the very obvious Mad City choice,
right?
which I love that song. Like if that comes
That's
on,
the goat.
if that comes on, I'm gonna be hype. I'm gonna throw the yaks out there. I'm gonna be yakking like Schoolboy Q.
The Yaks were so strong in Toyota Center earlier this summer.
Yeah, dude. When I saw him at ACL, I was about to punch someone. I got past the bottle of Henny, but that's neither here nor there. I love Mad City, but I think Money Trees is more meaningful, just in the grand scheme of the album, and I guess overall, like Kendrick's message for Kendrick's message for the album in general. It's just kind of generally talks about how like the concept is you want to grow up and you want to be shaded by money trees, right? Like whatever means it takes to get there.
Right.
Like you want to live like rappers do. Kendrick says that, and then I don't know. It just kind of explains the whole like I guess
About the hustle.
the conundrum
Yeah.
of growing up in the conditions of Kendrick's at Compton.
It's about the hustle.
Yeah. So and then, but see the thing is that Kendrick's verse isn't even the best one in this song because J Rock fucking out of nowhere like when the wrestler's like friend comes out and, like runs all the way down like
Yeah.
the fucking
His
thing to
theme
the
music
ring.
comes on.
Yeah, like fucking J Rock rolls in and like, oh my god, J Rock's verse. I I have literally teared up listened to it. Like I just don't I don't know. There's not many words I could say, just the last two lines. Like in the streets with a heater under my dungarees, dreams of me getting shaded under a money tree, like he just describes like, cooking crack, eating government cheese, like, having to hide all this shit, to just like in the bushes, and like, and if they find his stash, like, he has to disappear or go to jail. Like, but he's got to provide for his daughters, so he's like, get the fuck out of my way, because I'm gonna do this. So like, he's gonna walk around, with a fucking gun in his pants just to do whatever it takes, and that's like I guess that's what they're chasing. They're chasing the money tree,
Yeah.
and I guess that I don't know. It just really resonates with me for some reason, even though I didn't have a particularly hard upbringing. But
I
like,
mean,
just
we're all chasing our money trees,
right,
whatever form they take.
right. But I'm just saying, like, this one is the very specific one, and just kind of like rationalizing all the things that happen. Like
I mean, that's
Pops.
a perfect album. You couldn't really go wrong.
Yeah,
Not
but I'm just
choosing
saying,
Mad City.
I had a hard time picking between Mad City and this, and I picked this because I think it's more meaningful in general, and
Mad City's more of a banger, but this one's more meaningful.
yeah, and the J Rock verse, it's just fire.
Yeah.
Where are you, J Rock? Where are you? So yeah, that was my list of songs.
Okay. See, there's a lot of crossover with mine. I think there's only
You had these like these
No,
specific songs?
no. Crossover between my songs being on my favorite albums.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
trying to look at. There's only like two or three that weren't on. That there's songs that are not featured on my albums. But the first thing I thought of was songs when I made this like literally right before we started. So there's probably stuff I'm forgetting. But the first thing I thought of was "Threshold of Transformation," which is
Hmm.
ISIS's last song on their last album. So now when I listen to it, there's like even more meaningful like meaning within it because you know this is what they're closing out their careers on. And like the
Yeah.
last 4 minutes of this song, like I don't even know how to describe why this song's good to me. I also really really like the name. Like I shouted out to ISIS song names earlier, and Threshold of
Yeah.
Transformation is a fucking perfect name. Like I would name the band that I create that. Um, but yeah, that's not maybe my favorite. I mean, it's not maybe like the best ISIS song, but it is my favorite in my opinion. Um, and then for Dream Theater, I kind of have like three songs all in like one, even though they're like not similar at all or anything. Learning to Live, Octavarium, and Change of Seasons are like the three best uh, Dream Theater like solo songs in my opinion. Change of Seasons and Octavarium, as you know, are both like 20-minute epics. Like they're basically albums by themselves.
Yeah.
And then Learning to Live is the final song on um, Images and Words, which is my favorite album. And yeah, I was like looking up some lyrics for it just now, and the main like hook for Learning to Live, the way your heart sounds makes all the difference. It's what decides if you endure the pain that we all feel. The way your heart beats makes all the difference in learning to live. And just like all the lyrics in general in this song are like fire. And
Yeah.
it's like super meaningful to me, and it's just also an amazing song. The guitar solo at the end, and James LeBree's vocal solo where he hits the note.
Yeah.
Can't beat it. And then Change of Seasons and Octavarium, like the really long songs, also are just like there's so much happening. Change of Seasons in general is like basically like the story, telling the story of an entire guy's life from beginning to end, and like at the end he's like telling his son to remember me. That has always stuck with me. And then Octavarium, instrumentally, is probably Dream Theater's best song. I don't know if you could refute that.
Glass Prison, but yeah, continue. Or 6 degrees. Anyway,
Six
but
Degrees, yeah. I mean,
but
Octavarium is just it
it's
just has
I
everything.
think
There's everything in Capture.
I think Octavarium is like the culmination of everything Dream Theater stands for because
Right.
they go literally like strictly music theory based. Like they go up the 8 notes on a scale and they start on the root and then they end on the root again, which is the whole concept of Octavarium anyway. So
Ox, yeah,
yeah,
8.
so it's all like yeah,
It's like their manifesto,
yeah,
their musical manifesto in like a 20, I don't know how minute
24.
song. Yeah.
It's 24 minutes.
24 minutes exactly. 8 times 3. And then I have Thick as a Brick on here, which I already said as an album is a song. So that's makes this list easily. White Walls is on here. That's
Yes.
the last song in Colors, maybe the best progressive metal song ever made. Whenever
Yeah.
they played it live, I was like, I was entering another form of consciousness. I wasn't even there anymore. It was incredible.
I will
I've seen
go
them
as
play
far
that
to
song
say-
live like 3 times now.
Yeah, I think they always close with it. I think the first time we saw them they didn't, but then
I think
when
there
we
was
saw
one
them-
time. I don't think you were there. I think it was in Houston at Fitzgerald's that they opened with it.
Oh really? Damn.
Yeah, and it was like totally
Fuck!
unexpected because I never look at set lists, and
Yeah.
that's the last thing I would expect them to open with. Master of Puppets is on here. That one I kind of already explained its importance to me. That just kind of like broke the floodgates open for me into music. I have a Rush song, Cygnus X1 Book 2 on here. It's probably Rush's best song, or it's my favorite Rush song.
Yep.
Um,
It's I would say
it's a masterpiece.
yeah, it's up there. Like I literally I wrote part of an essay on this song. That's how good it is.
There's a lot going on, and it's another thing. It's probably like that's Rush's manifesto. It brings everything they have
Yeah.
to the table. And then I have 2 Opeth songs, Ghost of Perdition and Blackwater Park. Ghost of Perdition we've kind of already talked about. It's just a really good representation of Opeth and what they have to offer. Has the darkness and the light starts off like as like a Metallica song almost, where it just kicks your ass, and then it goes into the rest. And the lyrics are also really good. With Ghost Reveries is the album, and it's another concept album. It's a good Halloween album, really. It's about like ghosts and dark spirits and stuff.
Summoning spirits in the forest and shit.
The Grand Conjuration. Yeah.
Yeah.
They played that live as the closer or the encore, that one concert.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ghost Reveries, good topical Halloween album to listen to for the folks.
So if you're trying to get spooked,
flip on Ghost to Perdition. And then Blackwater Park is the last song on the album, Blackwater Park, and it's another just masterpiece.
It's like you know how regular people scream Freebird.
People scream Blackwater Park at Opeth concerts.
Progressive metal people scream Blackwater Park at bands.
Yeah,
actually, okay. I'm gonna be at when I was seeing BT Bam, the Contortionists. Like I was about to scream play Blackwater Park, but then I stopped myself because I didn't want to be that guy. Because like they had like a pause before their last song, and they were just like, "This is gonna be our last one," and then it's gonna be like Blackwater Park. But then I did.
People were screaming Mordecai, and then that's what they played actually, because I think they already knew.
The last song?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know. I didn't check.
Song.
Yeah.
And then the last two songs on here, not part of any album. The Raven That Refused to Sing. And I have a specific reason for this, because this is like weird. But this is a Steven Wilson song on, I think the album is the same name. And like tells the story of this raven that refused to sing. And it's like this. So all of Steven Wilson's works are filled with like sadness, melancholy, dark, like he's like talks about depression, like mental health, like those types of things. That's like usually what his songs are about. But this song, more so than any others, like is so just low and like melancholy that I actually can't listen to this song anymore. It's like too like actually listen to it. Like if I like sat there and like tried to enjoy this song, it would like it's too dark. I can't listen to it anymore. So like it's on my list here because I like admire the fact that a song could make me feel that way, and that Steven Wilson was able to make this song. So like that song, I mean, there's a ton of Steven Wilson stuff from his solo albums. And
in general, it's just really melancholy and just kind of like, I don't know. You have to be in a certain mood, and like the thing is,
he sounds like a ghost, like when he's singing on this song specifically.
Yeah, like I do. I don't know, just in general, like Stevie, he's just so like dark.
I just want to give him a hug.
Yeah, like, and also like, so like in the height of my listening to his work, like I was a stupid kid in high school. Like I hadn't struggled with anything really yet, you know. So like I didn't understand, but then like, you know, now in my old age, I have dealt
listening
with
to it now in our advanced age. It's way harder.
Yeah, I'm just like, damn, like, because like I'm just like, what horrible shit has to go through your mind to drive you to put this out there, which is like that is like his art. You know,
yeah, that's his art. He gets his feelings out.
Yeah, like yeah, he uses this medium, but yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm just like, yeah, you know, like I can relate to you in some sense, Stevie, and thank you for putting it out there like this.
Yeah, so. And it's also good music. It's not just like the medium.
Yeah,
it's just this song specifically it's something else. And I could have picked a lot of Porcupine Tree or Steven Wilson songs, but I picked this one because I don't listen to it anymore. And the last song on here, not meaningful at all. It's literally one I thought of while we were sitting here talking. This is probably going to heat you a little bit, but this song has meaning to me just because it was like, I want to say, this album released senior year of high school. So it was like senior year of high school, freshman year of college is when I was listening to this, and it just has like meaning to me because I just liked listening to it a lot at that time. It's Love Kills Us All / Life in One Day by Redemption.
Wow.
I fucking love this song.
Wow.
And like, I don't care. I don't care what you think, but this is a great song. It's another, Redemption's like a prog metal band similar to Dream Theater. They'd be in my honorable mentions. Kind of low down, but this song specifically is just brings everything now to the table. Good lyrics, good instrumentation. It's actually relatively simplistic. It's just really long and it's like a slow build.
Yeah, it's like an epic kind of.
It's all about.
I don't have a huge problem with it. My main problem with Redemption and bands like that is that they're just like they're slightly worse bands, like a band that does it way better.
Yeah, they deserve to exist. It's fine. They're making their own stuff.
They're of the clones. But anyway, I'm kind of mad about it. But you know what? You fucking like that song, so fucking listen.
Yeah,
to
you
it.
can't be mad. This is my list. Ray Alder on vocals brings it. He gives it everything he has.
Yeah, I
Shouts to
respect
Ray.
it. I respect the shit out of it.
But yeah, that's my list, and I probably am leaving some super important shit out because I didn't spend as much time on the song list. There's just so many songs.
Yeah, mine was curated. Like I struggled with the song list, and I tried to pick something that meant something for some reason to me. But yeah, this was even though we agree on a lot of things, we also disagree on a lot of things, and that was my introduction to the first compare and contrast paper I ever wrote in like 8th grade. Even though these things are similar, they're also different.
I'm trying to think of what the biggest honorable mention I would give for like bands that might heat you, or that I just want to.
Why are you trying to make me mad?
I'm not trying to make you mad. I just looking at my list.
You're trying to get some.
Shouts to Hawkins. Hawkins, one of my honorable mentions. Great.
If you're gonna listen to Hawkins, just listen to Dream Theater. Same thing with Redemption. They're just
Hawkins
They're
does
just
some
clones.
things better than Dream Theater, and Hawkins way better than Redemption, in my opinion. Spock's beard.
Yeah.
Coheed.
Oh, fuck Coheed. Coheed's bad. Coheed's for 5th graders. Don't listen to Coheed. Coheed's really bad.
Periphery's good.
I just don't
Seen
like
them-
Jint.
I've
I
seen
don't
them
like
live
Jint.
twice.
Okay, another genre take. Jint is just annoying metal. That's the only way to describe it. There's weird sounds that sound like clicking, and it's bad. And that's what Periphery is. There you
It's
go.
fine. They have a really good vocalist, and they go hard. They're like a way harder Metallica in the mode of Gent. Also, shouts to Genesis, yes, King Crimson. Also, other
the OGs.
the OGs. This paved the way for everything.
Yeah.
Scale
Yes.
Summit. Shouts to Houston based band
Yep.
that have now
We've seen
kind
them
of broken
infinitely
up.
many
We
times.
saw them a lot of times because they're.
I
from
say,
Houston.
yeah. Actually, I'll throw this one out there. Intronaut. I
was
love
gonna
that
say
band.
Intronaut and Baroness.
Yeah, Baroness is very similar to Mastodon, just kind of like really driven music, and they do they have really good choruses, just in terms of like that's actually metal you could sing along to.
Yeah, Baroness is good.
Intronaut, they're in like they're in a weird no man's land of like ISIS / Rosetta, just like in Mastodon, just driven post rock. They have really good bassists. I saw them live here in Fortress Worth actually with Scale of Summit. That's what reminded me of that. That's what reminded me of that. It was Scale of Summit opened, and then Intronaut was the next band up.
Alcest. Great band.
Yeah, like a French death metal band.
French Opeth.
Yeah, French death metal band. Their new album's really good. The purple one.
I mean, they're like
All their album names
They're not
are
death
in French, so we just denote them by the color of the cover. There's the green one, the blue one. Now there's a purple one and a white one.
Yeah, the green album's the best one. The one with the swan on it.
Yeah, the green album's fire.
Alcest. I would recommend that band to anybody. I wouldn't even call it death metal. That's like
Is it? I don't know.
it's barely. It's like really it's an instrumental basically. There's some vocals in the earlier albums, but it's basically instrumental, like super atmospheric rock / entering.
No, they're I would say metal. Atmospheric.
The fact that we
atmospheric
can't
metal.
even define what they are means that
It's stupid.
I don't know. It does. I don't know what that means.
The fact that we can't define what they are means that putting music in boxes is bad anyway.
It's true.
But yeah, Alcest, really good. They might They're an honorable mention for
They're
me
good
as
as
well.
shit, yeah.
It's just one of those bands that like their music's kind of hard to find. So
They're on
like,
Spotify. All their albums are.
yeah, but it's just like I kind of just like forgot about them
Oh yeah.
just
Liquid Tension
because.
Experiment also. That band's important because I could have put that on my albums list. Liquid Tension Experiment too, because that got me into stuff. I listened to Liquid Tension Experiment before I listened to Dream Theater. And Liquid Tension Experiment is an instrumental
Dream
group.
Theater without the singer and a different bassist.
Yeah, it's all the Dream Theater members making like really ridiculous
Yeah.
experimental type music. And that, go listen to Acid Rain right now, whoever's listening.
Acid Rain.
Acid
Yeah.
Rain by Liquid Tension Experiment. And
Not Chocolate Rain by the weird YouTube guy. Not that
not
one.
that shit. But yeah, that's our music podcast. We kind of exhausted every possible thing. This will be released in 2 parts for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have anything else to add? We kind of get all of our takes out. I got the take about the paradox of sharing music. Take about Prague. And then
Yeah,
we
I
got
guess
to
we didn't really
share
talk
some music.
about the
new bands, new
new
stuff.
stuff. Yeah, so
What's the most recent discoveries we've made?
that one band, "Come, I Need Your Help," the one with the Curse of Bajang.
Oh yeah,
Like their name is the because come I need your help, but just
Okay.
spelled horribly. I mean I know they're not like a new band, but Maserati, that like this prog just post rock band. Actually, okay, so I guess that's what I kind of want to get into. Like metal in general, it's just kind of like a dark theme and subject matter,
right.
and like I'm not necessarily like trying to get away from it, but that has been like my operating space for so long
Yeah, I know
that
what you mean.
maybe like I want to get out of it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I listen to stuff like God's an Astronaut, like Mogwai,
Right? Yeah.
hip
Like
hop,
like
classical.
it's still like along the same route. Like you'll get the heavy guitar riff, but you won't get all those like minor chords that make you feel bad. I'm not selling metal very well, but
I mean, metal's
Yeah.
not for everyone. I know that. It's like the whole thing.
Yeah.
We're afraid to like show people music we listen to sometimes because we know like it's not. People aren't cut out for this sometimes.
right, yeah. And that's not meant to sound pretentious. It's more of like protecting you people.
We're protecting you. Yeah, you shouldn't listen to people. Shouldn't listen to this podcast.
It's the Rorschach. You're not locked in here with me, or like you're locked in here with me. I'm not locked in here with you. It's that.
People are now gonna be exposed to all these bands that have created this psychosis within us. We're sharing our dread with our audience.
with the world. So congratulations. But yeah, so I mean, like a lot of the newer bands I'm listening, I'm trying to do more post rock, like kind of like more light, moody, like some airy guitar, something that just sounds like a person frolicking through a field, as opposed to like the weird, terrible, sad shit that sometimes metal is the vehicle, the vessel for, as a subject matter.
Right. I'm trying to think of the most recent band that I've gotten into that I've like liked and added it to like my inner repertoire of all these music is Intronaut. Like, 'cause that's within the last like year or so.
Yeah, Intronaut's fantastic.
But
they were a go-to band.
I'm looking right now, and there's 2 bands that I've been listening to a lot on Spotify. One of them I've told you about, I think, maybe both. The Reign of Kindo.
Yep.
And Fox Capture Plan. Just the most ridiculous name. I think they're a Korean band. These are both... Well, no, Reign of Kindo is not instrumental. Fox Capture Plan is. Reign of Kindo is like a jazz band with like a really good singer. And I would recommend them to anyone. They're like super light. Like, I don't even know how I would... They're almost like if you stripped away all like the heavy metal from BT Bam, because BT Bam's super jazzy, and their bassists and like their bass lines are similar to Reign of Kindo.
Yeah.
So Reign of Kindo is like the light side.
That sounds like
BT
something.
Bam.
Sounds like something I'd be into.
Their singer is like super high pitched though. Like I think you'd like him, but they're one of the bands. And then Fox Capture Plan is another like jazzy fast piano band. Like another, I listen to him at work when I'm like will need to focus.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two through Spotify I've discovered the most recent. But yeah, I'm kind of in the same vein where I've listed all these like my favorite bands ever here and my favorite albums and stuff, and I don't listen to this music on a regular basis a lot anymore because I'm trying to discover new music, and I'm not having that good of a time. But I'm trying.
It's kind of tough, but I will. I mean, I'll still go back to the tried and trues every once in a while.
Yeah,
it's just
same.
I'm trying to not be in the darkness too much, as well as which is kind of terrible to think about. But it's something
when you gaze into the abyss.
Yeah, something I like so much.
Gazes back into you.
Right. It's fucking So it's just, something I enjoyed so much and has been like part of my life for so long now. So
you can always go back to it. There's nothing wrong with taking a hiatus. But I do get caught into like ruts where I listen to the same music over and over again.
Yeah. So I'll probably try this Reign of Kindo stuff the kids are doing nowadays. Tomorrow at work.
That's Kindo spelled Kindo.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that was what I wanted to get out. Was just my state in music currently is that I have I don't want to like I like what I like, but then I also like maybe I'm ready to
branch out
for a different mood.
The next step now, being the purveyors of music that we are, the music enthusiasts, is to make our own music.
Yeah,
that's piano is still on my list of things I need to get into. I know you bought a bass.
Yep,
recently.
I can play the shit out of some scales, baby.
Nice.
So,
Sucking at something is the first step at being kind of good at something.
Yeah.
It's a quote from Adventure Time. It's still in my head. But I mean, I don't know how I'm going to learn. Like, I know there's a ton of like apps and like random shit I can look at. I was probably going to try. But piano. That's long been on my list of things. So that's the next step is, if we can't find music we want to listen to, let's fucking make it.
We'll start a noise band in Pittsburgh.
I've always been in. I'm just waiting to pick up the bat phone for that band.
Yeah, I am. I'm excited. It's been interesting because I played music before, and I'm also familiar with theory and all that stuff. So this is more of like
that's what people say. Is reading music's the hardest part, and we could both read music. You probably way better than me because you were in band for longer. I was in band and I was in choir, so I'm familiar with like. I'm confident I could relearn how to like read music pretty easily. So
right,
that's the hardest part.
This is more of like me, like it's becoming acclimated with the fretboard and where things are, rather than and the rhythm and technique and all that. But I'm having fun with it. Whenever I do get to practice. It's been a lot less recently since my work is getting in the way of my life. But yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, we just need so we have a bassist. I'll play keyboard / piano. Then we just need a lead guitar, and then we can use like a laptop. A MacBook can be the drums.
I'll also drum.
Or that. That'll be hard.
You'll
have to. Well, you record the drums and then we'll laptop it.
Yeah. We have the CBS gift drums.
But
no one knows that fucking joke because they haven't watched enough football with me. But
the CBS gift drums are fucking good. If that was our backing drums, I'd be fine with it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
But if anybody listening wants to join our band, just shoot an email to smackedpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. Meet me at on West 7th Street and Park Drive if you want to get your ass kicked in the next 60 minutes.
But yeah, I think that's all we've got.
Yeah. So if you don't listen to any of this music, why the fuck did you sit through this for however long we've been recording?
Well, you get to learn a little bit about us, even if it's music that they don't like. They know the ethereal voice is better. So.
Yep.
And what shaped us.
So, yeah, you guys just go listen to whatever you like. If you feel like trying something new, maybe take our recommendations. If you don't, that's fine. So, yeah.
We'll
We're out.
see you next time.
Yeah, we out.